Hey folks, Will Brink here, www.brinkzone.com. Today I wanted to continue my conversation a bit about genetics and the role that genetics plays in our success. And I think the problem for a lot of people who have not studied genetics is that it's just kind of a vague term. It just sort of floats around, but it doesn't mean that much. And of course, you know, there's no way to test for it. There's not some magic rule about it or something, and so it doesn't really play a direct role in a lot of people's lives in terms of, you know, weightlifting, fat loss, gaining muscle, that type of thing. So I thought maybe I'd give some real-world examples versus just sort of talking about it on a vague term. You know, I was in the gym the other day, and I was reminded about the importance of genetics, and the difference between the genetics was when I came in the gym, there was a guy there doing biceps, and I went and did chest and back, and when I finished chest and back, he was still doing biceps. So he must have done 25, 30 sets for biceps. And then he went on to do back, which of course is the reverse of the way you should be doing it for a variety of reasons. Now here's the thing. The guy was, you know, huge. He was a big dude. And the problem with that, of course, is that anybody watching him might think, well, you know, he's a big guy and that's how he's doing it, so that's the way it's supposed to be done. And that's actually not the issue. The issue, of course, is that you can do everything wrong and still make progress if you have, you know, genetics. Now, I don't know if the guy was doing drugs or not, but to be honest with you, you know, it doesn't really matter. If you're doing things that poorly, no amount of drugs is going to make you as big as this guy was without the genetics. And to give you some other examples, you know, I had a friend, his name was John Caldarelli. And John, if you're out there, I hope you're doing well and you see this. But, you know, John was like 260, 270 by the time he was like 18. And not fat, you know, not like big, I mean, a big, muscular guy. By the time he was, you know, I don't know, 20, 21, he was, close to 300 pounds. And again, strong as a bull and a huge guy. I remember one year he decided to, I don't know if it was due to injury or just boredom or whatever, but he took like 6 months off from the gym and he just rode his bicycle around town a lot and drank a lot of beer. And I doubt his diet was very good, and I don't think he got below like 240. I mean, he still looked better than everybody in our gym. Another guy I knew pretty well, name's Ed. I think he's now a pro. He's an IFBB pro bodybuilder, but back in the day he was just a local amateur. And you know, his training was nothing special. His diet was nothing special. He took like a year off from the gym and came to a cookout of mine, and he was about 5'7", 5'8", and about 215, 220, hard as nails. Looked better than anybody in the gym. Had not touched a weight in a year. You know, no weights, no drugs, nothing special for the diet. He still looked better than 99% of the people in most of the gyms. And those are extreme examples, obviously, on the high end of the spectrum of incredible genetics. But it basically confirms what I've said many times, which is usually the worst person to ask advice from is the biggest guy in your gym. And again, that's sort of counterintuitive. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And it also doesn't mean, well, okay, is the guy you should go talk to the dinkiest guy in your gym? No, it doesn't mean that either. But unfortunately, a lot of times the biggest guy in your gym knows what works for him, but doesn't really know all that much about anybody else's genetics because he's never really worked with average people. I mean, for him, you eat well, you train heavy, you grow, and that's usually about all they need to know. And obviously there's potentially some pharmaceuticals added in there, but not always. So these are sort of those sort of real-world examples of people that have just extreme genetics that I've known that, again, show me and hopefully you the role that genetics really plays ultimately. And what it means to you is, you know, you don't know if you have those type of genetics, or should I say, if you did, you'd already know it. You know, like most people, you probably have average genetics. I would say I have average genetics. I've done the best I could with my genetics, along with other things that have gotten my way, such as health issues and such. You know, what you need to do is don't follow some big guy or some genetically gifted person's routines. Again, go back to learning what are the known factors and variables to proper weight training, resistance training, fat loss, what you're trying to learn, and stick to those basics. And as time goes on, you will learn what works for you, whether you respond better to higher volume or lower volume and higher intensity levels, and so on and so on. So that's my quick talk of the day for genetics. I'm rocking my Minnie Mouse mug today. I hope my info has helped, and I hope to see you all on the Brink Zone.
Now, for more information on this topic, head on over to www.brinkzone.com, where you'll find my blog, more videos, free reports on fat loss, muscle building supplementation, fitness, health, and longevity, as well as a ton of free articles in my free weekly fitness newsletter. And I'll see you all on the Brink Zone.